go. Look at the Bible we subscribe to. The word of God that we read. I'm trying to go like this so that some of us who are a bit younger would understand. So they told me in church.
Not looking nice, I mean.
Just simple. The early church we had, we would call it the evangelicals, so to say. So
when the internet goes off,
until the days began to go by, and they began to see that actually, when the sophistication of times begin to come, there will be some needs that won't just answer to prayer. You know what I said? They won't just answer to what? To prayer.
Jesus.
They won't just answer to regular church attendance. They will answer to what? What's the results you have to bear? I agree up with things like that. But I began to realize that this that they said is a dirty game. Their instructions, their decisions invariably don't just affect us. They determine how we are. 2020, right? I hope you know there are still nations on lockdown. North Korea. Nothing comes in, nothing goes out. Not even vaccine. So who kept them in lockdown? That did not keep us in lockdown. Answer me. Their governments. So imagine there was a time that they said people, I'm saying now, who are believers or who have different ideologies should go into power. They said no, we won't go there. Now they have a man that all he's obsessed with is just to do nuclear things. Let's blow up everywhere. Young man up to 40 and he's obsessed with that. So if he wakes up one day and says there is no religion, what will you do? Are we together? So what we're trying to run from before, we forget the fact that what it takes evil to happen is for good men to stand aloof. That's all. What is required for evil to happen is for what? Good men. Just stand aloof. Evil will happen. Don't worry, it will happen by itself. Don't plant on a soil. Weed naturally will grow. Who plants weed? Answer me. Answer me. All you need to do is to do what? Leave your farm fallow. Weed will grow. So let me come back to the word secular. I want us to understand what we'll talk about. Secular is not concerned with or devoted to religion. That is, anything religion is not it. Secular means not concerned with or devoted to religion. 2. Characteristic of those who are not members of the clergy. You know, he called me pastor. I asked him, when did you ordain me? Do you know there were days in the church that for someone who is not ordained to preach, those days looked as if like, what are you doing? I don't have a collar. Thank God he's ordained, I'm not. Are we together? I'm not. There were days that men were functioning in the secular space. Why should you bring a doctor to come and teach in church? The path the church will bring up will be is a doctor, not that he's a believer. So when we look at professionals, I say no, you should not be talking here. Who are they? Which Bible school did you go to? Which you know, all of those things. Well, I tell you every time. That's a couple star when you go. So he said, number 3, characteristic or devoted to the temporal world as opposed to the spiritual world. Hear what I said? Devoted to the temporal world as opposed to what? The spiritual world. Now I've caused trouble. If secular space means a system that does not take religion into cognizance, secular space means a system that does not accept anything religion, discipline, whatever. So why should we have a topic that says champions from Zion, the secular space? Are you not seeing the contradiction? Champions from Zion, the secular space. So I am saying I can have somebody who is excellent from church, yet will enter the fashion world. Why should it to be a world-class economist? Where is the contradiction? Let me say this. Number one reason why the church must begin to deal and give perfect attention to the secular space is this. Number one, ideas are shaped in the secular space. You see, the ideas you are adopting, they are shaped there. Okay. Who decided that BlackBerry will no longer, BlackBerry was phased out? Who decided it for you? Answer me. Answer me, believers. Answer me now. Were you the ones?
No, sir.
Your pastor sat, did a conference and said BlackBerry you are out. It's the days of Android. iOS rather. There were times where badly Symbian phones, Java phones. And you know what you do? Now you buy an Android phone or an iPhone and you go to church and say Thanksgiving. Somebody shaped what you are calling Thanksgiving. Somebody made it Thanksgiving for you. How do I know? If by now someone now comes to give you a Symbian phone, will you do testimony? You share testimony. So who actually determined that testimony you are now sharing? Answer me. The space you said is for sinners. The trouble that made Vashti lose her seat was not that she dishonored the king. Read this very well. How she was there. The king himself did not see anything. His advisor said, sir, in case you don't know what you want to do, because we know when this wine comes down, you feel and say, my wife, before what do you call it now? We hurt ourselves. Sorry, I know. Say, okay, let's tell me the implication of what you want to do, sir. In case you want to change your mind. People be here at home, women in the land be here. That the queen disobeyed the king. They will now go to their homes and begin to dishonor their husbands. What were they telling the king? Sir, that you are in this place is not only about you and your family. Whatever happens here, sir, whatever decision you will take will shape the homes of this nation. So decide what you want to do, okay? That was why after the edict was issued, the proclamation, they said they should be ready homes to men. It's not in your Bible. Let's go there. Oh my, let's go there. The book of the book of Esther chapter 1. Let's start from there. Please, you will help me. Let's start from verse. Should we do 13? Let's start from 16. Let's start from 16.
Esther chapter 1.
Okay, let's start from, let's go from verse 16, please, go over time. And Nebuchadnezzar sat before the king and the princes. This was one of the councils that were called, the councilors, one of the wise men that were called. Said, Vashti the queen hath not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes. Question 1. Who did Vashti disobey? Answer me now. Open your Bible. Okay, up there. So I'm trying to open to Esther. Now they won't. If you cannot, just look at this. Who did the king offend? And who did Vashti offend? The king. How come Memucan, one of the wise men, was trying to explain to the king, this woman has disobeyed to you and us? How come? It says, and to all the people that are in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus. You will think he was only making mouth. Let's continue. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes. When it shall be reported, what will be the report? The king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not. When they tell them, said the king sent for the queen, she said, I will not come. So what really put her in trouble was the implication of what she did. It wasn't what she did. It was the meaning they read to what she did. So they were invariably saying to the queen that you are queen, you are shaping the beliefs. If today we say the home is still the home, the queen, you are the one shaping it. If today we wake up and say this is that is not queen, if the women in this kingdom, in this province will become rebels, you are the one who is shaping the ideologies. Simple question. Where was this matter happening? In the temple? Answer me, where?
In the palace.
In the
Palace.
Was the palace a secular platform or a religious platform?
A secular platform.
Answer me, people of God.
A secular platform.
If you continue reading till the end, they said, okay, when you issue this decree, let everybody read it, let them hear, let all people to hear. So they were saying the king issue a decree that will affect every home, that will determine what happens in each home. Now the church is asking why their children are going wayward. They will go wayward, sir, because where they should be shaped, you left it. You know why the secular space is powerful? That's where both is religious and non-religious, that's where they meet. Only those who want God come to church. Right? You can tell them they come. But in the secular space, there's a general platform for everybody. Everybody meets there. And they've understood that it's whoever who takes the secular space that takes full dominion. Are we together? They understand these things. If you can take over that space, for example, do you know songs you thought you would never sing in your life? But someday you were at a bus stop waiting for brother next car. I didn't know when you began to shake your head. You were tapping your feet. If they sang those songs to you in your dreams, you say, devil abide you. Who created that thing for you that began to move you even with your tongues and every those of tongues? Somebody did. The church is fighting, shouting. Our teenagers are dressing anyhow. Where did they learn it from?
Yes, actually, he has two.
Who created the designs? Answer me, who did? Someone did. If you are shouting, this tree is not giving us something good, what should you do? What should you do? Cut it down. As long as you don't cut it down, don't blame whoever goes there to pluck the fruits. You can blame them though. You can say, remember where you come from. How dare you go there to pluck that? But let me say this to you. Even the devil told Jesus to turn stones to bread. Thank God it was Jesus. When there is no bread.
It was Judas Iscariot.
Even in the house of bread.
I said when it was Judas Iscariot.
Men move after anything. Do you know what I said? So ideas and cultures are shaped. They are shaped there. They are shaped there. In the nation at the time, there was a decree. Should I say decree or whatever? They were just to have a child. I think by government policy. Who determined it?
China.
Answer me. Who determined it? Who decided it?
be executed.
Whether you are a pastor or a bishop or not, what would you do? You would comply. You hear what I said?
Why you laugh?
You will have to comply.
It's a space. So you need to get a new.
I thought you said you have anointing, but you first answered.
What will we have to do eventually?
I know the funniest part.
Just make the pool.
Thank God for prayers.
Focus on 7 minutes.
But if you want to solve that and you are very angry, then you take them to
Laptop 200.
before an unjust judge.
Okay, is it?
So they say to you, why should you study law? All lawyers are liars. You heard this before. Who said that when you are studying law must become a lawyer? There are people in the bench.
1, 2, 3, 1.
I'm talking about men in the bar, men of the bar.
1, 2, 3, 1.
So there was a time in our nation we began to shout. And you know, all the things I asked myself is this. God help our forefathers. Thank God for what they did. But I think they should have done enough. I ask a question. The said Nigeria's constitution, as the truth say, Sister Funga looking at me. Right? I got the name right. Food alright? The said Nigeria is a secular state. Yes, some, but I think 19 other states run Sharia. Who brought it in? Those in power. Those at the helm of affairs. If you leave your law making to those who are lawless, what will they make for you? And you know, in the secular space, what answers, what makes men bow is the excellence you can command.
Yes, sir. The brightness of your eyes.
Is what the excellence you can command. So, what will make you relevant in the secular space is the degree to which you can convert the spiritual energy inside you to physical relevance. If it cannot be converted, you are in trouble. It does not translate to solutions. Thank God for what things of what we are doing in things of. But let me tell you this. There are people who come to you, sir, with stories of first class testimonies.
Use that converter.
The next time, do you think their parents will release them? They will release them. But imagine, God forbid, that is the other way around. Academics. Everything. Any of you, your parents release you today because they didn't just see your tongues. They saw the result of the tongues in your life. So they said, go. So the part they encountered is not the tongues part is God that hears that from because you are speaking mysteries not unto men but unto God. Do you understand? But now the mystery has been converted to something tangible. Men now encounter they say, what's this? The secular space does not answer to many Lucas. And if you are saying that you truly want to be the light that will shine, he said, will you? Do you think God will light a lamp and put it under a bushel? Answer me. Will you do that? So what do you think he's trying to say? He said, you are a city that is set upon the hill. Meaning, by virtue of what you do, you are to obtain a vantage position. There's a vantage position, so to say, whereby your light will be their reference point. He said, kings will come to the brightness of your rising. Kings don't just come. Your rising, they don't just come to it. Anybody can rise. What will keep you up? Oh my. I said, cultures are shaped in the secular space. Decisions and policies too are made in the secular space. Every policy used against Daniel, where was it made? From the temple? Huh? Answer me. By you. Answer me now. The who had power, were they made by common men?
Just swipe up.
So Esther got to that position and she was there. And when they were to reverse, thank God for fasting and prayer. They fasted and prayed. So she went to meet the king. But how did they reverse the death sentence? The king said it again. Mordecai influenced it, right? But who approached the king? The one that had the seat to see the king. There are things God is handicapped because we have not risen. We have chosen a normal life.
So
and God says,
handicapped because we are not praying.
Do you know if God had brought the dream God gave to Pharaoh? If he had given the children to Joseph in the prison, the dream would have died.
Yes, kings will see. They will meet them, they will come, like the Queen of Sheba.
There are dreams God can't give you fasting tomorrow. Because the way without to bring it to pass, you do not have yet. And when you lack the ability to fulfill a dream, it becomes frustration inside you. You become frustrated. Because it will be burning inside you, yet there is no ability to express what you are saying on the inside. It will weary you. Come back and was unknown. How would they mess up? For example, I'm not saying it's happening, but probably even the VC himself. I will say more than that. So naturally, by virtue of who is on top of that seat, there is a system, an unspoken system that has been created. Not spoken, not written in black and white, but it has been created. Oh, you believer, before you complain, ask yourself, who are you? I don't know what I'm saying, some of this I'm saying this afternoon. Or in fact, I'm not even following these notes. I'm not following these notes. So I said that the early church, whenever they see people like this, they will say, what are you doing here? Do you understand what I'm saying? Why should you be in platforms like this? We should not accept you. Now, I think it would be okay to just round off with this. Now in our attempt to correct that, to remedy that problem, the church now began to come up and say, discover yourself. Purpose talks began to come. Let me ask you, sir. Now the boy notice from the north, sir. How many times do we hear purpose conversation in the year 2012 in the north? They told you, sir, find your purpose. But they told you in the north, 2012. I'm just saying 10 years ago. Do you understand? Thank God we are even getting better. Remember when we went to Christ Guys December 2012. I'm not sure, sir. For how many years we didn't remember anything purpose? Do you understand? Now that I'm breakers and like, what was that? He said, minutes. Sometimes we pray for 3 hours. All of the days that was tired, he had to sit down laying hands. I can't forget. What am I saying? A graduation began to come. Good at that. Good graduation. Not bad. Do you agree? Very good. Very good. Now round up with this. That's why I didn't follow that. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. Why? We did not understand why there should be champions in the secular space. Not because men have not occupied the seats, men have occupied it. But because men who occupy the seats are godless people. They do not have God. So it's not a competition to have a seat. No, sir. It is a challenge, it's a mandate to bring to bear the will of our Father. What was I trying to say? The proof of the kingdom being manifested in the place is that the will is actually there. So, when you want to know whose kingdom is at play in the place, is at work, check the will. So we began to see the fashion world is getting messed up. The sports world, almost everywhere. So they began to say, let's take over. Now this was the main error to be made, and we are still making. So we began to train men to be excellent people. Yet without the consciousness that there was a reason why you are going there. There is a reason. So now they get there, for example, that sister, that brother, that man of God, or that we celebrate as our top leading stylist in Nigeria from your church. that has the front seat. When we check our designs, so in the real sense, the devil has not lost. He stands back and says, you don't have to see my face there. You don't have to see my will. That's all. So it's not computed. You don't have to see my face. You don't have to see my will. Because as long as it is my will that is happening on earth, I'm okay. Let me go to sleep. I can use their tools for my purpose. Church people. So naturally, if it's not from church, you first say, oh, you can defraud me. I can do business with you. For now, it's from church. So your guard reduces. You're losing guard. It's from church. Until you begin to deal in business. I now tells you, before we get the contract, we bribe. Sorry, we don't call it bribe. We don't have from church. That's the extreme. So many people that we adore in our churches today as being excellent, as making waves in public space, in the secular space, when you check their works, you have a problem. You begin to question. Something is amiss. A sad reminder, on Sunday was the 21st anniversary of September 11 attacks. I'm not going to September 11. Oh my. September 11. He's lost this one. But okay, don't worry. It's not Bible, so but this should that was the day and there were tripartite attack, 3 attacks simultaneously that hit the heart of the US. Massive, large scale. And I got reading, this was the part that struck me, I will be praying short time. I got in on Sunday, a book was released. The book was written by the man that took over from Osama bin Laden, I think, after I was killed. Church people, listen. The man was killed too, I think last year or 2 years ago. But the book was released. And they wrote in the book, the attack happened when? 2001. They said that attack you saw, last year, August, it was as if I happened to be an Afghan as I watched the trouble in Afghanistan when the US pulled out. I think throughout that week I was not myself. My wife knew. As if I happened to be an Afghan. I said, God, this nation is gone, if not forever. And the man wrote in the book, he said, in the year 96, when Osama bin Laden stamped his feet in Afghanistan, he said they had one aim: strike US where it mattered most and draw them into a war. 1990 what? Answer me, what year? 96. How many years? Calculate that. If you are 96, answer me. Don't use calculate. How many years? 26 years, right? Let's take it back to last year, 25 years. The war just ended. So he said, 1998, guess what they did? They had many ideas. So when they saw that part of the ideas we include using an aircraft, guess what they did? They now began to send their members for training. I said, 98. It's as if they are pilots. But their learning is for one aim.
Yes, sir.
It was for an end. That someday will bring the US
Down
to his feet, and the decision will cause the US to enter into a war situation that will last long. Do you know how many billions of dollars or trillions that went in Iraq, in Afghanistan? When we have the beauty, thank God for the beauty. Thank God for the first class. The proof that we have it. is to go and do one nude Photoshop and post on like photo shoots. The proof that you have the beauty. How you show it is that you go to people and begin to sell your body. That all you use your first class for is let me get a job and just go. These ones, you know their job. It was defined from the first day before they entered the school. He said they began 98. They began to send people to study engineering, to study. So they were not students. They were missionaries. They were missionaries. They were missionaries. If only we would actually understand the believers, you will do business the right way. You now know why you must succeed.
Yes, sir.
Not so that you can show them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But because there is a higher calling.
Yes, sir.
There is something bigger. It's bigger than whatever men can talk about. There is a dear mentor that talks about a particular car. Let's rise to our feet, please. And he says he's going to get the car. I love him so much. I know the God of God for his life. And they were to bury, the queen passed on just last week. And in the convoy of those following, the convoy consistently had saying, follow the king's body anywhere it was being taken to. I saw this guy about 2 or 3 of it. I said, I don't know. I said, come and see. So if why you want to make it, why you want to become a champion so that they will hear you. Oh believer, you have failed. You hear what I said? You have failed. The champions God will be raising in the secular space will not be those who will not know why they are there. God will raise them for his purpose. In fact, why you study medicine is because there's a disease that is going to release. And before the healing power of God reaches men, it will have killed many of them. Do you know what I said? Now you are asking me why can't you just go and preach? Don't worry. That's even the number of dead bodies that might not even be able to, especially speaking. Your medicine will save them. So you are doing it, they are giving you the whole accolades. Like a dear man said that he stepped on that place in the US to read when they called him a black man from Nigeria. Dr. Lee Boye. So as they called him up that day in the US, he saw all of them, I think all white. Said, at the back said, you almost cried. God. So this is what you can do with your life. He was not being celebrated for preaching. I think it's probably one of the only 2, is it neurosurgeons or whatever, in Australia. Said he stood there and said, God. So these nations will stand there all white. And I'm here. They've come to celebrate me. The champions we are raising now, they are men who would have the 2-pronged approach. With one hand, their walk with God will not shake. Let men change the standard. Let me say this, your training might only differ, but the standard will be the same. Your friend is a prophet, he will pray. Your training might differ, but your standard will be the same. The standard, if it's righteous, it was right. If it's holiness, it was holiness. If it's diligent or diligent. It's diligent in praying for 4 hours or for even 12 hours per day. You too, your diligence must create time for prayer. Yet sit with that book to read. The same standard, different trainings. This becomes